That was kind of a rough copy there, 380, a little bit in and out, you know. I think you got him in there too, but and then I don't know if you heard the guy in Gilbert, Arizona. He was 20 over 9 for a short time there just before, and then he dropped out pretty quick, getting some sporadic E, you know.
Oh yeah, I caught him when I was on the way home, and I caught him in the mobile. He told me at one point I was 40 over 9, and I was like, wow, okay. And then from the base, it's like 20. So yeah, that's pretty good. Very interesting short skip, for sure.
Yeah, roger that. Figure it has to be E layer, or sporadic E, I should say, because he's so close, right? You know, Gilbert, Arizona is only like, what, 350 miles away? So yeah, the signals get pretty strong. I noticed a long time ago, I was talking to a guy in Arizona, just a couple, maybe a year or two ago, and the guy was just like 30. The meter only went to 30 on that radio. It was just sitting there like right on the plus on the 30. His signal was really strong. Like, and you know, it's just a normal station. He didn't have like a big old, you know, giant, you know, 10,000 watt amplifier. He just had a normal station, and he was still super strong. So it's kind of interesting how sporadic E can get really strong signals coming in sometimes.
Well, yeah, that guy in Gilbert said he was running something like 2,400, something like that. So that's got to help. And if I don't know, did he say he was running a beam or a vertical or what?
I didn't catch what 8255 was running. I didn't know he was running that much power. But the guy before, not him, but someone else that I talked to like a year or two ago, he said he was on I don't know how much power he was running, but I know it wasn't a lot. But he was on a quarter wave whip on his house. He made little ground radials. He was on a quarter wave. And I remember, I think he switched to the dipole. I remember his signal was better cross-polarized. That's what I remember. It was, I think he was vertical, I was horizontal, and the signal was better than it was vertical to vertical. You'd go think it'd be the opposite, right? But it was weird. So, and I did a video gate, it's actually on YouTube of that, and I thought it was interesting that, you know, so the myth, or I should say it's a myth, that you always want to have the same polarity. Not always, you know, the ionosphere is weird, right? It could rotate the polarity, and you'll wind up having a stronger signal in the opposite polarity, because it's not ground wave propagation, right? So it could rotate the polarity, and you could have a better signal in the other polarity. So, and that was an actual case where that happened.
Well, yeah, it's fairly well known that you know, the signal often switches polarity up in the atmosphere. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, Roger. Well, you get some people just arguing, saying, oh, you know, it's always got to match the polarity, but it's, yeah, the ionosphere. Well, I guess you're right. For people that know DX and how, you know, communications, and then you got to kind of monitor it too, because you could it might change in mid-conversation, right? You got to check and go back to the other players. Say, hey, did it improve on that side, or back and forth and check, right? It's kind of cool. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of well known if you're in the radio world. You're right.
Hello, 585. Well, you know, to be fair, not everybody in the radio world knows it.
Right, yeah, you have to play around with radio to see it. But I always think it's cool to actually show it. You know, like these things, that's what I do on like my YouTube channel. I actually show like things like people talk about, or in theory. Like, I like to show what actually these things are. That's kind of cool.